Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Denise, aka MissNiseReads, and today we're going to be doing a huge wrap-up, considering the fact I never posted a June wrap-up. If you saw my communities post, then I posted that I'll be doing a huge wrap-up for June and July, so that's what we're doing today. This is going to be in one take. It is what it is. I have stuff I need to upload. So, for June, I read 7 books. 3 were physical, and the 4 were through Kindle / NetGalley. I will preface which I read, everything like that. July, I only read 6 books. This month, these past 2 months have been very rough. Very rough for me, and been going through too much, so we're keeping it very much simple, not too much. For July, I read 5 physical and 1 Kindle. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna just breeze through these because I don't want to take up too much time. So let's get to it. So the first book that I read was You've Been Served by Kristen and Alicia, doing June 1st and then July. This was for a book tour. I already posted the Instagram post, and I've also posted my blog post about the book, so you can go check that out. My blog will be in the description below. I rated this a 4 stars. This was an enjoyable read. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I could not put the book down for the life of me. I liked the premise of going from one career into another career and just seeing that transition and seeing Simone's journey of that change, the good and the ugly of it. So that was very nice to read, and a lot of what, for me, it felt like a found family within her cohort and everything like that. So it was really nice. Silas was very, very charming. However, I will say there was one thing about him I just did not like, and that was a little bit of a red flag for me. Other than that, very much enjoyed this book. This was a 4-star read. The next book that I read was Naked in Your Bedroom by Harper. I already filmed a review about it, so I'm just going to say my thoughts. I rated it 4 stars. Really enjoyable. I liked the stories and the characters. I'm not going to lie, I maybe want to read the next book in the trilogy. So that was 4 stars. The next one is A Condition Called Love by Megumi Marino. This one I also did a review on, so those videos will be in the description below. This was a 4.5 stars, just because of the fact I really enjoyed seeing Utaru's journey of what's like being in love and everything like that, and I definitely want to continue the series a lot. The male MC, it's a little sus, but I hope we get to find out the reasons why he acts the way that he does. But that was a 4.5 star read. Loved the art. It was great. The next book that I read was Cool Awkward Black, and it's stories edited by Karen Strong. This anthology, it took me a good month, and I'm glad it took me a month to read this because I got to learn about new authors that I have not read before. This is very multi-genre. You can find literally anything in this genre, and on top of that too, all these stories are by Black authors, and I wish I had this when I was younger, is all I'm going to say about it. This is a 4.5 stars because of the fact of there are authors in here that I haven't heard of. I want to check out their stuff. So I also have a blog post about the book. That will be in the description below, but loved it. The next short that I read was Free to Love by Candy Ryan. This took me a little bit into the steps of her work, and it was short. Sweet. I loved it. It was a 4 stars. I did read the excerpt of Real, and I want to get that as soon as possible. Genuinely. The next book that I read was Autumn Sun by Patrice Gopo. Now, I read this one through NetGalley, and it's supposed to be coming out, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to come out in September. I'm gonna double check that right now. This one took me a little bit of a while to also finish, but that was because I was kind of going through life stuff. Yes, it comes out September 1st this year. Please check out the collection when you do. It's a bunch of different essays and stories that's based on, on the author's life and everything like that. This was a 5 stars for me. This was genuinely 5 stars. Literally, I have like a tiny notebook where I literally just wrote down so many quotes and just my thoughts. There will be a blog post about it in the future, probably around the time when it comes out, but even then too, just go check it out when it comes out, September 1st. Genuinely, it was such a fantastic read, very, very insightful. Definitely recommend. And the last one for June was SpyxFamily by Tatsuya Endo. This was very interesting. Did not expect it. Didn't expect for myself to get into it the way that I did. It made me cackle at a lot of moments. But it's also interesting, you're getting these random people joined together to be a family for a mission. That really stood out to me. And it makes me curious about how the mission's going to go. So hopefully I'll get the 2nd volume. It's a series I definitely want to continue in the future. So this was a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Now we're going to get to July. Woo. Most of the physical reads, for the most part, I read on vacation. -2. So, the first book, Haikyu, by Haruichi Furudate. I'm very sorry with pronunciation as well. I've heard so many good things about this series, even with like the manga and anime, and that's actually the same thing for SpyxFamily as well. This was really enjoyable. I had a blast reading it. I very much like Hinata's determination, despite how short he is, to be good in volleyball and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that. The rivalry between Hinata and Kageyama, like, it's going to be very interesting getting to see them having to work together despite hating each other. So, for me, this was a 4.5 stars. Had a fun time reading this. Genuinely. 10 out of 10. The next book that I read is Nubia, Real One by McKinney and Robyn Smith. This has been on my TBR for a while. And when I saw this at my Barnes & Noble, they tried to sneak it in there. But I found it, and I was shook. And I said, you know what? I've been wanting to read it for a while, and so I am. Basically, Nubia is not your average, teenager. She has these abilities that she's had since she was like 3. And her parents have been trying to have her, keep it on the down low about it. So when she sees a robbery about to happen, and one of her classmates, or basically her crush, his life is about to get ended if she doesn't do anything, she throws an ATM machine. Now, this book does touch on police brutality. They do touch on racism, all of that stuff. That does touch a lot. In this graphic novel, you get to really see that Nubia is limited, especially it's her teenage years. She's supposed to, enjoy them and everything like that, and she can't really do that. Because if people find out about her abilities, they're gonna have to move, and she doesn't want that. Her parents don't want that. But when her best friend Keisha is, in danger, Nubia has to basically risk everything for the most part. This was a 5-star for me. I really, 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 really enjoyed this graphic novel. I really enjoyed seeing the friendship between Nubia, Keisha, and just to double check, Jason, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I was right. Love seeing the friendship between those three. It was absolutely wholesome. Her and Nubia and Oscar, they were wholesome. A lot of their scenes were really, 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 really wholesome. Yeah, it was a really good graphic novel for my liking. So, 5 stars. Also, this will be more talked about in a blog post. So will this next one. The next book is Starfish by Akemi Bowman. This has been a book that's been on my book wish list for a very long time, and I finally got to it. I'm not going to really spoil anything about the book. Basically, you have Kiko. She is a senior in high school, and she wants to get into this good art school, which is called Prism. Later to find out, she doesn't, and she has to come up with a backup plan as soon as possible, especially to get away from home. And this book, I can't put into words how beautiful this book was. This is an obvious 5-star. I adored the writing. I could not put it down whatsoever. You really get to feel the characters and get to see plus and bats, and my goodness, my heart wanted to go for Kiko and her brothers, Shoji and Taro. The way that was written was so beautiful. Trigger warning. Essay. Suicide. So, keep that in mind. This was 5 stars for me. This will also be, like I said, blog post. The next book that I read Solo Leveling by Chugong. This has been a highly anticipated read. Very gory is all I'm going to say right now. Very much gore. But the story is really, really, really cool. You get to see Jinwoo. He is an E-rank hunter, and he has to go through so much trials so that he can become stronger. So this is just the beginning of it. I definitely want to keep up with this series a lot, and when I mean keep up, I mean physically, like physical. I want to keep up with this series. This was a 5 stars. I very much enjoyed it. I read this on the plane ride home. Oh, I love it. Oh, I loved it so much. The next book that I read was Loveboat Taipei by Abigail Hing. I was literally, a couple days ago, I just found out that this is being turned into a movie, and the movie literally comes out in a couple weeks. Good to know. But you have Ever wants to be a dancer, and her parents are just like, dance is not going to do anything for you. Why don't medical school? But before she does go to college, her parents put her in this program, which is like Loveboat, and so she can, learn more about her culture and everything like that. And this book, drama. drama is all I'm going to say, because the things that go on in this book, my goodness, you think one minute, okay, something crazy happens, okay, cool, everything dies down a little bit. It dies down just a tad bit, and then boom, something else happens. This was a very, very easy read. Not gonna lie, very easy read. I felt Ever, when it comes to like certain things, but there was also moments I'm like, Ever, I don't know about that. Rick, he really should have stood up for his girlfriend. Genuinely. Sophie, I liked her in the beginning, but once you read throughout the book, she is so petty. She is so petty. And that really turned me off from her. She is really, really petty. And then we have Xavier, who is seen as the bad guy and everything like that, but deep down, he's a good kid at heart. It's just, he's something else. There's a second book, and the second book definitely deals with Sophie and Xavier, so I do want to actually like purchase that to read more about that, because Xavier does have my interest in terms of like what he went through. So this, I rated this a 3.75 stars. It was very enjoyable. However, I think for me, I think I'm good with YA for right now. Genuinely, because a lot of the drama that happened in this book, I'm just like, I'm getting to an age where I'm like, this is not cute. It's not great. Not great at all. So that's why the 3.75, I did have a fun time reading it though. I really did. But I think because of that, I might take a step back from YAs. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. And the last book that I read, I literally just got done finishing this book literally a couple of days ago. It's Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. Listen, I started this book in April. And I'm happy that I really took in the trigger warnings. Please, and I'm going to tell you this right now, please search up trigger warnings, especially for Long Shot. It is such a tough book to get through. Genuinely such a tough book. So please, do not fool around. Don't go in blind. You really need to read the trigger warnings. Big time. Kennedy Ryan's writing is just beautiful. Adored it. You get to see August and Iris. August, is playing for the NBA and everything like that, and if Iris, who's in this relationship, and that relationship turns very, 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 very sour. That's why I'm very heavily trigger warnings for this book, because it touches on a lot of touchy subjects. And I'm going to say this because sometimes when those subjects are written, they have to be written in a certain way. The topic itself and how Kennedy Ryan wrote it, absolutely superb. It's not glamorized. That's what I was trying to think of, and I couldn't get it. It wasn't glamorized whatsoever. It's really telling a survivor story. I'm still thinking about August and Iris to this day, actually, even though I just finished the book a couple days ago. This is a 5-star read. You really get to know Iris, all that what she goes through, but as well with August, and how August would make sure that everything in the world is going good with Iris. August. Man, that boy was down bad for Iris. I mean, I don't blame, but he was down bad. And just seeing those two, I highlighted so many quotes. Eventually I'll share, but like, They have my heart. They have my heart. I cried. I genuinely cried. There were certain moments I literally bawled a river. For those who know, you know, Iris and Mimi. That's one of the few things that I was waterworks. And alongside with, there was one moment with August, and God, I want to cry. If you know, you know. This book put me through it. Like, I was down. I was down there. I was deep, deep down. And then it picked me back up again. And then it hugged me and comforted me in some way possible. That bonus epilogue made me tear up because they went through so much. So much. And then seeing them finally getting their happy ending, yeah, this is why I rated a 5-star. Also, I am fuck Caleb. I said what I said and I meant what I said. And with that, that is my wrap up. It's very chaotic, I know. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what books you read during June and July. I would like to know. Of course, conversations are absolutely fantastic. Just keep them respectful. Make sure you follow all my social media. All my links will be in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.